So you're telling me this guy...
Too many names to remember, but hi. What took you so long to respond to me?
I didn't feel like being alone. Not tonight.
So you turned to Tinder.
You can murder a liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder a revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution. And you can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom.
Is the same as this guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you really are not from America.
No,
yeah.
no, my passport is maroon. Yeah, it's a strange phenomenon.
I'm always...
Okay, I'm starting to even question if I'm American. This is getting crazy.
You're looking at 18 months for the stolen car, 5 years for impersonating a federal officer, or you can go home.
The Black Panthers are forming a rainbow coalition of oppressed brothers and sisters of every color.
Their aim is to sow hatred and inspire terror.
I will learn all that I can.
Judas and the Black Messiah is about Bill O'Neill, who is a thief, gets caught, and the FBI brings him in, essentially says, this is your sentence. However, if you want to get out of it, you can help us infiltrate the Black Panther Party, try to dig up some dirt on Fred Hampton, who is at the time the chairman of the Black Panther Party. You could try to catch him in a criminal act. You just got to do what we tell you to do, so we can arrest him. Because during this time, or when Fred Hampton is the chairman of the Black Panther Party, he's such an impactful figure, and you see that as you watch the film, where they feel like if they can get something to pull him out of the Black Panther Party, get him away from it for a while, it will essentially make the Black Panther Party crumble, and that is the FBI's ultimate goal at this point in time. So you have Daniel Kaluuya as Fred Hampton, and then you have Lakeith Stanfield as Bill O'Neill. You have the bully from Like Mike playing Roy Mitchell, who's the main FBI guy, or Jesse Plemons is his actual name. This is an Oscar film in February. Just gonna go over like general thoughts right now. This is an Oscar film that came out in February, and as I mentioned in the Little Things review, you normally do not put a film out in like the first quarter of the year, because then you have essentially a whole year of trying to promote your film and get Oscar buzz, which is not great. So most people come out, November, December, sometimes like October is maybe when some things start to come out. But I don't have any actual evidence that this is true. I'm just putting two and two together, and I'm assuming that Shaka King or whoever decided to put it out during this time is because it's Black History Month, so they put it out in February. And it's not impossible to make an Oscar run. I mean, Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield actually have a track record, and Lil Rel Howery, actually, all three of them are in this movie. They're on a film back in 2017 called Get Out. I don't know if you ever heard of it. If you haven't, go see it. Even though Lakeith Stanfield and Lil Rel Howery were both small parts, but either way, went on to get nominated. I just can't see that there's going to be 10 films this year that is better than this one. And so I think you could tell that sorry, I'm shaking this. I think you could tell that I enjoy this one a lot. So let's go over a little bit the reasons why. Man, the performances, I know I go over this all the time, but Daniel Kaluuya is something else. I would say the general consensus on what A-list means is how many people can you bring to an audience just being in a film itself. So you have people like The Rock, Leonardo DiCaprio, Denzel Washington. You have others, right? My definition of A-list is that you're good too. And yeah, you could be both. You can put butts in chairs, and you can also be a great actor. I think you can definitely be both. In mine, I think Daniel Kaluuya is someone that he needs to be someone where you go and see his film if he's in the film. You need to go. And I wasn't even a huge fan of Queen and Slim, but if you're someone like me who really appreciates just a great performance, he was fantastic in that. But I think this honestly is his best. I think it's his best. He was great in Get Out, but he brings this character to life. We have a couple instances in this one with him and Lakeith Stanfield. You get that rare instance of you can't really picture someone else in these roles. You might not have imagined them in these roles before you saw the film, but I think after seeing the film, you sit there and you're like, I couldn't. I sat here, I was like, I can't see anyone else playing either of these characters. And Daniel Kaluuya, the transformation that he makes in his voice, and I don't know if he genuinely actually was that big or if this was a bodysuit or what, but obviously he'll physically transform if need be, if that's what actually happened in this. I can't really say in words how good he really was in this. Then we have Lakeith Stanfield, who on the other hand plays a different role, but same kind of situation where he's just, I can't see anyone else playing his role. But then you have two sides of the coins with him and Jesse Plemons' character. And I'll explain in a second, you'll understand what I'm saying. Because with Lakeith Stanfield, you can't tell throughout the film where he's really going. Because he starts off being like, sure, to get out of 5 years of jail time, I don't have any opinion one way or another on them. I don't really care, whatever. I don't care about this dude, whatever. But then as the time goes on, you're like, is he just like a really good actor? Or is he like starting to, get with that? Who is he acting to now? Is he acting to the Black Panther Party? Is he acting to the FBI? And it gets to that point where you're like stuck. You're like, I'm not sure. And it even gets brought up in the film at one point. Then on the other side of that coin, you have Jesse Plemons, where I couldn't figure out his character, but in a way that I wasn't really a fan of. And I don't want to blame his acting. I like Jesse Plemons a lot. He's been in a few things recently, and I've liked him in all of them. And I think he's a great actor. So it could be the writing, but it could have also been the acting. So and what I mean is he came off to me initially as this white FBI agent that was not like the others. Over time, I was like, is he like the other, like the racists, like these other FBI agents who are just strictly going after the Black Panther Party just because screw black people and what they're about? Like, if I couldn't tell, like, by the end, I got a strong idea, strong sense, but it kind of sucked that through the film I was like, wait, I thought this, but now this. To move forward from that, the directing was great. Shaka King did great on this. I know he was also a partial writer on it. This is just a film where they don't go the same route as most films, where you go up like this. It's this arc where you go up, you hit a climax, and then you come back down. This one is like kind of slow in the first like 30 minutes. Once you get through that, it starts to go, and then it just starts to go, and things start to intensify more and more and more and more and more and more, and then you get a climax, and then it ends. But yeah, I mean, this is based on a true story. I don't think I mentioned that earlier, but this is based on a true story, and I think this was a really, really strong film. I do recommend you go see it. It's on HBO right now. Obviously, I always recommend you go to the theater. However, I understand sometimes some people don't like going to the theater, or it might be hard for some, or some of you might not want to go out due to COVID and all that, which is understandable. So if you do still want to see this film but don't want to go to theaters, check it out on HBO Max. It's on there. With that being said, though, rating the film, I forgot to rate the last film, but for this review for Judas and the Black Messiah, I'm going to give this one a flat 8 out of 10. Straight a flat 8 out of 10. Super strong performances. Really well directed, really well made film. I still have to do a review on the Trial of the Chicago 7, and so that should be coming soon. All right, guys. I hope you have a good one. Please subscribe and put the notifications on so you know when videos come out, and like this video. And I hope you guys have a great day.
I'm gonna die for the people 'cause I lead.